Today's show is our version of what's called climate shaming. In the case of Taylor Swift, she can't afford a Tesla Model S, 3, or X, but Kanye West and Kim Kardashian have two. This is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. Thanks once again for joining us. If this is your first time on our channel, welcome. If you're a repeat visitor, welcome back. Also wanted to thank, or if you like our show, please take time to like and subscribe. Also wanted to thank our Patreon supporters. Your support is greatly appreciated. And we also want to thank our subscribers. Now, we typically have a very newsy, straight ahead type show that we do, but we decided to do something a little bit different today after getting a note from our friends at Google. In particular, this is our first planet shaming show. And what does planet shaming mean? Well, it turns out there's a concept called fat shaming, where if somebody's fat or looks in some way badly, you actually will sort of note that and go through a process with it. In this case, what we're wanting to do is climate shame Taylor Swift. And why is that? So we did some analysis after getting a note from Google regarding this. And what we determined is that Taylor Swift actually has 4 ICE vehicles based in the Los Angeles area. And I believe those cars are 2 different Porsche 911s, as well as an Audi A8, as well as a Toyota Land Cruiser. And this is just a car fleet that we were able to deduce based on her Los Angeles sort of headquarters location. And she might actually have other vehicles in other places we don't know about, but these are the ones that we're able to get photo footage of. Now, after viewing this, we determined that either she doesn't know Elon Musk or doesn't like the planet. So our thought process was that we need to perhaps do a video in which we might car shame her or planet shame her to at least give her an opportunity to give Tesla a try and determine if the performance and other attributes of the vehicle may be in line. Now, I have a little video or image up. As you could see, it just went off. We had an image of Elon Musk with Kanye West as well as Kim Kardashian, which is sort of the second half of this climate shaming discussion. So, the bottom line on this is that after doing some careful analysis, we determined that the problem that Taylor Swift might be having is that she might be a little bit short on cash because, the Learjet and the constant touring and paying her employees, all of these add up a lot of expenses. And so our thought process was that we at Tesla Fan Insight are willing to come to Taylor Swift's rescue in that we're willing to do some crowdfunding to help her get a Tesla. And we will not only get her a Tesla, but we'll make sure Elon signs it as well. So for those of you who work with Taylor, feel free to, and we'll be happy to set up and get your Tesla funded, tested, and delivered right to your door. So, Taylor, it's time to step up and do the right thing, and we look forward to working with you to get you into the Tesla family, if you will. The next thing we wanted to review is while we're car shaming Taylor Swift, the contradiction to this is that when it comes to Kanye West and his lovely bride, Kim Kardashian, we were focused on the fact that Kanye is actually very good friends with Elon Musk. And a part of this friendship resulted in him being given custom modified silver Tesla by Elon Musk, and this will be featured partially in the image we have in our thumbnail, so you can take a look at the two of them with that vehicle. So it's an unusual color. If you get a chance to see it, definitely worth a photo while you're in the greater Los Angeles area. Um, the I mean, there are some questions that popped up with Kanye's car because now that Raven has come out and the Plaid has come out, he either may need a new car to reflect all these capabilities that have arrived, A, or B, he may have to have his vehicle modified to embrace some of the new additions, i.e., an extra motor and some other performance features that his vehicle did not have when it came out. But we have to give kudos to him because he is a celebrity. The buying choices he makes actually influence a lot of other people's consideration of what's available. And note that when you look through the Kardashian fleet, it includes a large numbers of sort of famous brands under the ICE brand, everything from Lamborghinis to Aston Martins, even the Rolls, etc. And so not only did Kanye get his Tesla directly from Elon, but he's also been photographed driving it either with or without his lovely bride, Miss Kardashian. So we have our comments to Kanye West and to Miss Kardashian is well done, and it's great to see celebrities lending themselves to sort of a better climate, a better planet. And just by driving and being seen in the vehicle, it can make a big difference about what happens here. And speaking of a big difference, we actually are planning to head out to California, if we can work it all out, to attend the introduction of the new truck on the 21st. Now, this is an interesting circumstance because as you all know, Morgan Freeman actually has a Tesla-only limousine service that he put together with a partner. They're all, I believe, black Model X's and well maintained. And instead of renting a car, one can simply order up a Model X to pick you up and head over to the SpaceX and Tesla Design Center facilities in style. And so we want to say kudos to Morgan Freeman for putting this together, and also kudos to Morgan Freeman because he pointed out there's actually a Tesla shareholder as well. The next celebrity we wanted to shout out is the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger has gone from deliberately driving a Hummer and making it a sort of a central part to him as a character on Terminator and a character in general, because he helped somewhat revive the company that was, I believe, purchased. It's called American General, that was purchased by GM. And for a while there was a big rage of H1, H2s until the craze sort of ended, given that it's a lot of gas to run through, even though those vehicles are pretty, rugged military vehicles. Arnold has sort of changed his stripes a little bit because he's actually having his Hummer outfitted to be 100% electric. Not only did Arnold show up in the news in this regard recently, but he also made a point of either leasing or renting a Model 3 so that Greta, I want to say Greta Van Susteren, but there's the climate change activist who is visiting at America, and she actually famously made sure that instead of flying a plane coming over, she was on a crewed boat that sailed from Europe to the United States for the climate conference she was headed to. And so, given her sensibilities relative to the planet, Arnold made it available for her to be able to travel in a Model 3 to her speaking engagements instead of having to use ICE vehicles to do so. And this is a further example of where we want to give kudos to efforts being made by celebrities to identify the needs of the planet and use their celebrity to support it. And so we have to tip our hat to Arnold Schwarzenegger as well. So, so getting back to the Kim Kardashian situation, not only does she and Kanye have this silver given to her by Elon, but they actually went ahead and, from what we can tell, even the windows are completely blacked out. They actually have a black Model X with blacked out windows, and so it looks as though the family of Elon, of Kim Kardashian and company enjoyed their first Tesla and have expanded their Tesla exposure to include a Model S. Now, this is an interesting trend because there are a lot of folks who've made the transition from ICE over to Tesla, and once they do, rarely do they go back because there's a lot of performance, et cetera, that you give up as you rotate backwards from having moved over to an electric vehicle. And so we wanted to further congratulate Kim Kardashian and Kanye West for the transition they've done into electric. So the other question we wanted to pose to all of you is if you've seen photos or folks we should really try to shout out when it comes to their activities relative to transitioning to electric and it being impactful, we definitely want to give those folks ink and would love to have you guys contribute commentary if you would. One other thing we wanted to cover today is that we were asked by our viewer to actually in shows start giving a little bit of attention to what's going on with Tesla Solar. So the issue for us has been there's a concept called no news is good news. And one of the things that we've been trying to figure out is, Elon freely admitted recently at the earnings announcement that the effort to get the Model 3 rolling really caused there to be a focus of all the engineering talent and resources to get the car on a smooth plane, and that the thing that was neglected was the growth and expansion of the whole Tesla solar effort. So from what we can tell, there have been a limited number of ground-based, electric put out there for either companies or individuals. And now we're seeing the new roof is ready, and Elon has indicated that he's looking to try to get 1,000 installations a week done. And I think that would be good news if he did. It seems like he has a lot of hurdles to get it done, namely hiring the people, and the Buffalo plant is ready to produce these panels, but we haven't seen them yet. There's some question mark of how this is all going to work because Solar City's market share has fallen from about 60% 3 years ago to now about 9% of the marketplace. So I think it's going to take some effort in terms of hiring of personnel of all types to get this, to grow back up into a decent slice of the solar market. Can it happen? Absolutely. I actually ran into a Tesla owner who's been waiting for 3 years to replace his roof because he deliberately wanted to get those panels. And so I think there's pent-up demand, particularly from existing customers, to actually purchase these panels. So we're hopeful that Tesla is able to get these out there. One of the other things about the whole Tesla solar arena is that both Elon and J.B. Straubel in the past have articulated that Tesla is really an energy company that happens to do cars, not the opposite. But based on the revenue figures we've seen, one could argue that it's strictly a car company with a sideshow of electric roofs or panels, et cetera. But all of that could change fairly quickly if, in fact, we started seeing the installation pace that Elon Musk has actually talked about. So, those of you who are inclined towards solar panels on the roofs, it's time to check in with your dealer because allegedly we're ready to rumble on this happening. One of the other sort of Tesla energy pieces that popped up I thought was interesting is I have friends who live in Northern California, and as we've had these shutdowns going on relating to fires that might be driven by electricity, there's been a number of of friends that have articulated the fact that they needed to have power walls purchased and installed because that way they could generate their own electricity rather than relying on a grid that's been shut down. So, it seems that there might be fortuitous developments of this type that causes there to be a little bit of fire put under the performance of the whole Tesla energy side of the business. And we actually look forward to this occurring in the not too distant future. So, um, this is a relatively short show today. We did want to cover a couple of items that you've experienced. Jerry, thanks for saying hello. I saw a couple other folks say hello as well, and we're actually looking forward to any and all comments or questions you might have. Um, hmm, yeah, interesting. There was a question that was just posed regarding forget about the celebrities. What about people being able to purchase Teslas in that 25K range? And I think it's an excellent question. Clearly, there's a used market for Model S's out there. I haven't seen any Model 3s dropping into that price range yet. So my first answer that I could offer right now is that, yeah, there are used vehicles that are selling in that zone. There's also a gentleman with a very famous YouTube channel that actually is sort of buying Teslas for about 10 grand and helping to uh, bring them back to life. So that might be another route of how to get into a Tesla rather cheaply. Um, will there be a $25,000 Tesla? I think it's entirely possible. I think we're multiple years away from that. Um, hmm. Well, Thaddeus just said a full robo car might bring it down to folks in the lower income zone, and I would say that's possible. Uh, Interesting. Yeah, the challenge I think right now though is that unless you can increase density or switch how that battery is delivered, I've heard that the aluminum batteries that are coming from MIT. Uh, hmm, Interesting. Yeah. Um, so um, it's an interesting situation because um, right now, based on costs, I don't think Tesla can afford to deliver a car at the $25,000 price point unless you cut the battery pack in half. You still have the performance attributes. You might be able to do supercharging, but I think that would be a really restricted vehicle. Um, but I mean, I think that as we change materials perhaps into the aluminum battery situation that's been discussed, it's entirely possible that we end up moving into that price range and it's viable. Um, yeah, I do think that Elon is focused on how to service a lower marketplace than just folks willing to pay $50 to $100,000 for a car. So we'll see that that change occurs. There was a comment made by Jerry regarding one of the things that'll happen in China is they'll be able to lower costs such that they can reach into those price points. Hmm. Hmm. Great. Uh, wow. So we just had a comment indicating that large numbers of Model 3 showing up in Sweden, and I think that's awesome. It's nice to see. There are certain European countries that have gone, bananas in terms of the number of vehicles out there, and it's good to see Tesla's expansion globally. And thanks for the update. It is fun to hear from our non-U.S. Customers what's happening with the cars in an offshore setting. So, feel free as we do our closeout as usual to fire questions. I'll be happy to answer them in lieu of closing out. Just wanted to remember 25 leg lifts per leg, to help prevent, stabilize the knee and prevent any operation needed as you age. Also remember, don't go to bed within 3 hours or within 4 hours of eating is best, but at least 2 hours it lets the food digest so it doesn't cause acid reflux issues. We also are open to recommendations that you guys might have in terms of hmm, um, yeah, we also look forward to uh, any sort of story suggestions you guys might have, etc. Robin just pointed out that she was hoping to see a two-door version or the Roadster version. Clearly, the hardtop Roadster at $250,000 is probably the nearest thing you're going to get to that. Um, so, uh, something like that is coming. Wow, there's a lot of cars that Tesla could make. The challenge, though, is that there's limited resources temporarily, but as the company is growing, I think specialty vehicles are definitely within the realm of possibility. And if you have the cash for it, there's plenty of folks in greater Los Angeles and other places that will sort of create the Tesla that you might want to see. Jonathan Bratt just made a prediction that Model Y is coming in Q1 2020. Um, but hmm, it, it, uh, I think it's definitely possible. Most of Tesla's vehicle introductions have been late, and would not be surprised to see the Model Y be that as well. So, we're open to it, and if it happens, I think that's awesome. Is my assessment on that. Hmm. Terrific. At any rate, this is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. Thanks for joining us for our planet shaming version of our Tesla Fan Insight show. Please remember to like and subscribe. Uh, we also want to thank our Patreon supporters. If you can join us at 1, 5, 10, whatever you can do, it is greatly appreciated. Thanks once again for joining us. Have a great day, and bye for now. Um, hmm. Yeah, Robotaxi won't go far, is what Jerry had to say. Uh, Thanks, John, for your comments as well. This is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. Tschüss, mach's gut. Uh, in German, au revoir French, Lichtrot, Hebrew, Choda Hafez, Farsi, Zdravstvuyte. In Russian, that's hello, not goodbye, but I just think it sounds cool. It's a lot easier than Das Vidanya. Ni hao ma, also hello, how are you, not goodbye, but it sounds really cool in Chinese. And Hedge do is definitely goodbye in Swedish, thanks to our friend Donovan on that one. Um, and finally, in Jamaica, we say no respect, walk goodman. Thanks once again for joining us, and have a great day. Just learning how to play. Look forward to learning more. Have a great day. Bye for now.